to create a new menu link or page, for instance, say under history, we'll create a menu item called test page, and then what we will need to do is create an article in English for the test page, and then we will need to create the 3 articles in German, Italian and French, and then once we've done that we will create the menu links. So what I normally do is complete the whole process in English first, so I'll do that now, and then we'll go through and create the multi-language pages. Now that I've logged into the administration area for Seychelles, go into Component and Article Manager and add a new article. So we'll call this article Test History, and we'll add a few lines here. This is a test page, and we might put it under the history category so it's easier to find later on. And now we'll save that page, and we'll close. So now we go into the menu structure, and we'll create a new menu item, and we'll call this menu item Test History, and we'll select the type of menu item that we're going to create, which will be an article. So we'll scroll down here and we'll create a single article, and then we'll find the test history article and we'll choose this article. Now importantly, we must choose the parent item. So in this instance we were under the English version of history, so we'll scroll down to find and we attach it to that child, and now we can save. So then if we come to our menu item history, and now we have the test history article and we have the test page. However, if we select another language, we get a 404 error. So now we'll create the menu items for each of the languages. So the first thing we do is translate the original article into 3 different languages. So to do that, under Components, Doomfish and Translation, we can then make sure that we're looking for the contents pages, and initially you need to search for a specific language, and then to help find the articles I use the history filter. So now I've found any article that belongs in the history category, and there's 2 here. There's our original history one, and then we have our test history. So this is the English version, and we're going to translate it to German, and you can see here that it's not published. So to start, we click on the article, and then we need to translate the actual name. So what I do there is I use Google Translate. So I'll put test history in there, click on German, and there's the German version of test history. I'll come back in here and put it in here. Now it's important that we don't translate the alias. The alias must always be the original test or the original English version. If we translate the alias, then it breaks the link and the URL can't work. So now that we've got the menu title, we'll click on Translate here, and you'll see here that that was our test page, and now it's translated it into German. The next thing we need to do is publish it, and once we've done that, we can save and close. And now we have our test history page in Deutsch, and the name of that menu, that page will be called the German variation. So we go ahead and do that same process for the Italian and French. So we'll click on this. I'll do these quickly. We'll get the Italian variation. And we'll leave the alias as the original and translate the page, publish it, save and close. And we'll do the same for French. So now we've created the 4 pages, one in English, 4 article pages, one in English and one in each of the other languages, French, German and Italian. So the last thing we need to do is create the menu items for those 3 languages. So now we'll go in and create the French menu link. So to do this, under menus, main menu, we'll find the test history menu link that we saved before, and we'll open this link. And once it's open, we need to come down and do a couple of things. The first is change it to French, and then we'll give it a name, and we need to attach it to the French version of the history menu item, which is up a little way. And we'll attach it to the French version here, and then we need to select the French article. So we'll come in here, and to find the article, choose the language, and you can choose the category. We can hit search. This one was already preloaded. We click on here, and that's added the French article. So we've got the menu title, we've added it to the parent item, the French version of history, and we've set the language to French, and it is translation of test history. So now we'll save and close this one. Now I had a problem with this one that I just saved, and I've noticed here that the alias is gone into the French version, so it needs to be the English version. So I'll open it up again and set the alias to test history. It's quite important that the aliases always remain English, otherwise you'll get broken links. So now on the front end website, we can see we've got our history link in English, and we've got our page in English, I can switch to French, and now we have our menu and our page in French. And you'll notice that the URL up here has stayed the English version, and that, as I said before, is quite important. This is the alias, so as we switch between the different languages, this alias has to stay the same. I haven't done the other two languages yet, but if you just follow that same principle with the other two languages. So now I'll just show you one. We'll do the German version for French history. So first I'll search for the test history menu link, and once I've found it, I'll click on it, and then we'll leave the alias the same. We'll go into Google Translate and get the German version, and put it up here. And again, we'll need to find the German variation of its history. So we'll come up here and find the French version for history, which is this one here, and we'll need to make sure that we have it in German, and then we need to find the German version. So go into German, and it's this article now, and we'll make sure we put the alias as test history. So now that we've got everything set, which is the alias is the English version, the parent item is its German version of history, and the language is set to German, and we've set the article to German, we'll save and close. And now if we go into history, test history, and then we'll check the version, German version out, and there you've got the German version, and the alias is the original alias. So that's how you do it. I won't do the Italian version. I'll leave it in here for you to do, and then we can delete all of those pages once you've had a go at it.